If you dedicated 30 minutes a day to learning any skill, whether that's coding, writing, exercising, or learning an instrument, you would log over 547 hours in 3 years. That's more than enough to go from complete beginner to the professional level mastery in just 3 years. Yet, studies show that 95% of people quit their New Year resolutions in the first month. Why? Because they all make the same critical mistakes. Because we all think that success comes from motivation, talent, or luck. But in reality, it's about strategy. The most successful people in the world, they don't depend on motivation or willpower. They use systems to get to where they want to get. And today we are going to talk about how we can outlast the 95% of people and join the few who actually stick with it long enough to win. First, we want to talk about the fear of starting. Every day when you wake up, you are given two choices: to start and finish your task or to procrastinate and put it off for tomorrow. Majority of us, we choose the second option. That is why that we are not at the place that we want to be, more successful, richer, and healthier. The question is that why we just don't wake up and do the tasks one by one. And the answer is that we as humans, we are not driven by logic only. We are driven by our emotions, we are driven by our mood, we are driven by motivation, and we are driven by dopamine and habits. Most of the times when we think about the task, we avoid it and we put it off for the next day. And the first reason is that our mind is wired to avoid discomfort. We want instant gratification. We like the tasks that give us reward and are easy to do. For example, we like to scroll social media, we want to binge watch or snack, and we prefer these tasks over long-term rewards. So we want to get those hits of dopamine and those rewards as fast as possible, as easy as possible. So if you have the options to distract yourself, most probably you will take it. So the first thing that you have to do is to remove the distractions. One important fact about our brains that really helps is that our brain is not static. It changes moods based on what we are doing. Avoidance fuels anxiety loops and action fuels focus loops. When you think about a task, your brain doesn't want to do it and it defaults to avoidance mode. This is driven by limbic system. The mere thought of the task triggers resistance because your brain anticipates effort, boredom, or stress. However, the moment you take even a tiny step like opening the Word document and writing a word, your brain switches gears. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for focus and problem solving, takes over. This shift dissolves the mental block, replacing dread with problem solving. The solution is that every day that you wake up and you want to tackle your tasks, have them scheduled in your calendar the night before so you know what is it exactly that you need to do. And when it is the time that you start doing the task, you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you physically move. This interrupts overthinking and forces action before resistance kicks in. Because if you just sit down and you think about the task because your brain doesn't like hard tasks, you will keep avoiding it and your brain flag it as dangerous and you will keep avoiding it the next times as well. The more that you keep thinking about the task, the harder it will become for you to start. So by counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and physically moving and starting the task, you interrupt the overthinking and that way your prefrontal cortex will take over and your mind will shift gears from avoidance to problem solving and focus mode. And now your mind have switched the gears and you're thinking about the task. So another methods is that you can use the 5 minutes rule or the 2 minutes rule, and the way it works is that you tell yourself that I will do this task for only 5 minutes or I'll study for 5 minutes, and that is useful because now you're thinking only about 5 minutes of works instead of thinking about writing a 10-page paper. The gap between who you are and who you want to be is measured in seconds, not in minutes and hours or weeks. The 5 seconds between thinking about the task and starting the task. Every day your brain gives you two choices: to start and build your future or hit snooze on your potential. The majority of people take the second option and that is how they end up in the same place next year as well. But you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you go. You switch from overthinking and avoidance to problem solving and focus. Every time that you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you start taking action, you're physically rewiring your neural pathways. After 30 days, starting becomes automatic. And after 3 to 5 years, you're outlasting the 95% of people. The next time resistance hits, remember that the entire battle is won between seconds, not in months or hours or weeks. The second most important tip that I want to talk about is detaching from results. The truth is that obsession with results makes you quit faster. When your entire motivation depends on seeing immediate progress, you're setting yourself up for failure. The truth is that meaningful success barely follows a straight line. There will be days, months, weeks, or even years that your effort won't translate into visible results. And this is where most people quit, that 95% who need constant validation to stay on track and keep going. They mistake temporary failures and plateaus for permanent failures, realizing that every successful people goes through the same phases. When you set ambitious targets like earning $1 million, your brain immediately calculates the enormous distance between where you are right now and where you want to be. And this gap triggers a psychological shutdown. The sheer scale of the activities that we need to do is paralyzing, and that leads to procrastination and avoidance. The key insight is that our brains aren't designed to process large and massive goals. They respond to concrete, immediate next steps that are achievable. The next part is about doing something for long enough until you see some results, no matter how long it takes. And the thing that separates winners from everyone else is that they commit to something for long enough until they see the results. You want to build something that lasts, you want freedom, you want fulfillment, then you have to be willing to show up every single day. Even when the world is not clapping or when nobody is noticing, even when you feel that nothing is working. Because the truth is that the results come, but only to the people who refuse to give up. Start your business, start your YouTube channel, build that dream body, learn that skill, and when the views are low, when the results are invisible, you have to keep going. You have to adjust, learn, and grow, but never stop. In the first 6 months, it feels like you're speaking to a void. In 1 year, you're putting hours, but you're seeing no results. But one day you'll make it, and everyone who used to say that you're not gonna make it will ask you that how did you do that? Or most people will say that you got lucky. But you know that it was not luck, it was commitment and showing day in and day out. It was sacrificing comfort for success. Every day you're given a new chance. It doesn't matter if yesterday was a win or loss, today is a brand new chance for you to get closer to your dreams. That is the mindset of the 5% people. They don't look at how far they have to go. They focus on showing up again and again. They consider every day as day one because every day is a new chance for you to get closer to your dreams. Because greatness is not built on bursts of motivation. It is built on quiet, boring, and simple decisions that you make daily. Treat your day like it matters because it really does. Every small step, every focused hour, every moment that you choose action over comfort is the brick in the foundation of the life that you've always wanted to build. So keep choosing day one, keep choosing your future, and never stop, because every day is a new chance for you to build your dreams, and every focused hour is actually the bricks, the foundations of your future. And when you finally taste success, something amazing happens. You'll realize that it was 100% worth it. Every late night, every early morning, every time that you felt like quitting but you didn't, every time that you chose action over comfort, it is all worth it. And what is the alternative? Regret. So let me ask you, what is more painful? Working every day for 3 hours to build your future, or waking up 20 years from now and still struggling mentally and financially? Isn't it better that you commit for 3 to 5 years and build the rest of your life? Is it better to struggle for a few years and build the rest of your life, or keep struggling for the rest of your life? But if you don't put in the work and lock in right now, few years later you will still be stuck in the same place, because regret is the kind of pain that will kill your soul. When you realize that you got the brain, you got the potential, you had the time, but you didn't have the discipline. And when you realize that the only thing that you needed was to keep going. So if you're discouraged, if you're disappointed, if you're at the bottom of the valley, don't stop and keep going, because one day you're going to be at the top. And after you made it, you will look back and you say that that was the struggle, that was the price, and I would pay it again. And just a reminder that you're not behind, and just a reminder that you're not bad at the things that you're supposed to do. You're just a beginner. You're not lost. You're building the path by walking on it. And so don't give up, not today, not tomorrow, because the only thing worse than the pain of effort is the pain of regret. Because the only thing worse than the pain of effort is the pain of not becoming the person that you were meant to be. So lock in for the next 3 years and make yourself proud. So if you like this video and you can relate to these types of videos, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next videos.